Hello everyone, my name is Christina Lee Johnson, the writer and creator of the Bubblelina Comic Series. The last time I was on here, I read issue 5 of my Bubblelina Comic Series, A Frozen Discovery, about the origin of Anna Summerfield, of how she became how she became a sidekick to Bubblelina at that very moment. And I mentioned to you all that I have an issue number 6 that I have an issue number 6 that has not been published, but I did write it, and it has been published due to unnecessary circumstances dealing with Gabriel's Photoshop, as well as other things in life in general. So today I am going to read the unpublished draft of Bubblelina issue 6 that is titled A Bubbly Halloween, and I know it's going to be interesting. Since there are no illustrations, it is all written in script form. So I'm just going to read it straight through according to what I wrote in script like. Okay, here it goes. The scene begins when a vicious snakehead fish is chasing and attacking baby sea turtles. Bubblelina and Odetta in their mermaid forms are trying to stop it. Bubblelina uses her bubble spear to trap the snakehead fish, and Odetta uses her ice powers to freeze it, while the snakehead fish is in the bubble. Bubblelina kicks the bubble really hard, while the snakehead fish is inside the bubble, farther away from the ocean, and the baby sea turtles are saved. Then, Bubblelina and Odetta teleport themselves home. Meanwhile, in Melissa's house, Melissa in a happy mood. "Mom! Dad! I'm home!" Carolyn, who sounded upset. "Good afternoon, Melissa. Where were you? We tried calling you several times on the phone and you didn't answer." "I was hanging out with Vanessa after school, and we've been talking so much that I lost track of time." "My advice for you is to wear a watch so you can keep track of time. We'll buy you a watch later. Anywho, did you have your phone on you?" Melissa, lying. "I must have accidentally left it in my locker while I was hanging out with Vanessa." Then she smiles. "You know us girls. We are always occupied with certain things." Then she laughs like nothing is going on. But, in her mind, "Actually, I hid it under some seaweed while me and Vanessa, aka Odetta, were fighting a snakehead fish in the ocean. It's a good thing my phone is waterproof." And she continues speaking to her parents. "At least I have it on me now, and I promise not to lose it," Carolyn said in a firm voice. "You better not lose your phone, since they are expensive now than it was back then. It is very important to have your phone on you at all times, because you never know when are we going to call you, and it might be something very important that you cannot miss it." "I will, Mom. The reason we try to call you is because we are having pizza straight from delivery for dinner, since we are taking a break from cooking. We are tired of waiting that we already ate, and we left a few slices for you in the refrigerator." "I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I'll do my best to keep my phone on me at all times and communicate with you more than to let you know when I'll be home after school. We are not trying to fuss at you or anything. We just want you to be safe, careful, and being more responsible. The world can be a dangerous place when you're not careful." "I know, Mom and Dad, I know. Parents always know that is what's best for their kids." And then she heads to the kitchen, in her mind, "If I came home early and didn't fight with that stupid snakehead fish, I would have got a hot fresh slice straight out of the box." The next day begins in the hallway where Melissa, Nicole, William, and Vanessa sees a flyer posted on the wall for tonight's Halloween dance. And Melissa looks and reads the flyer. Carver Middle School's Halloween dance, Friday, October 31st, which is tonight, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Carver Middle School gym. Wear your best costume. I am so excited about the Halloween dance. I thought about who I'm going to be for Halloween, and I'm going to be as Deep Sea Girl. And then Melissa imagined herself as Deep Sea Girl. Nicole says, I'm going as Cinderella since my parents read me a story of Cinderella when I was 5 and I watched the movie version when I was 6. Cinderella was my favorite movie of all time, and the best part about her is that she wears a beautiful dress and glass slippers. William said proudly, I am going as my favorite hero/detective of all time, Sherlock Holmes, because I read all of his books and I like it when he's always said, Elementary, my dear Watson. Melissa said, Are you going to the Halloween dance, Vanessa? If you are, who are you going to be? I'm not going. Melissa in shock. Not going? The Halloween dance is supposed to be the best night of our lives and you're not going? Why? My family doesn't celebrate Halloween and I have a huge book report that I still need to finish. Plus, my parents are working in the night shift at the hospital that I'm staying with, and I'm staying with my next door neighbor, Mrs. Benson, while my parents are at work. And Nicole said, We understand, and we do have several people around the world who don't celebrate Halloween. I have cousins who don't celebrate Halloween, so they always go to a fall festival at their church on the week leading to Halloween. I enjoy Halloween because you can dress up whoever you want and have fun. William said, The only thing that I hate about Halloween are the scary clowns. During my 4th birthday party, my parents surprised me with an extra large Jack-in-the-Box, and when I wind up the Jack-in-the-Box, it was a clown jumped out of the box and scared me with his funny faces and squirted water on my face. I ran out screaming and crying that I hid under the bed until everybody left. I haven't gone to places and events that involves clowns since, not even the circus. The best thing I like about Halloween is the free candy. I wonder if the Halloween dance is going to give away free candy. Melissa, being all excited, I hope Chris shows up without you know who so that I will be able to have a chance to dance with him. And then Melissa looks at Chris down the hallway. In Melissa's eyes, she sees Chris coming out of the light, walking slowly down the hallway. Melissa's daydream interrupted when Alicia appears. Then Alicia shows up. Hello, my beautiful Chrissy Pooh. And then Alicia hugs Chris really hard. And Chris is sort of annoyed with Alicia. I keep on telling you several times, I'm not your Chrissy Pooh. By the way, I consider myself handsome and consider all girls beautiful in a respectable way. And then Alicia still blushed with hearts in her eyes. Like me? And then Chris walks away from Alicia and goes towards Melissa and her friends. Hey, Melissa. And then Melissa smiled back and blushes. Hey, Chris. And then Chris smiles at Melissa and her friends. Hey, everyone. And Nicole, William, and Vanessa said hi to Chris. Vanessa said, So you are that boy that Melissa is telling me about. Well, you are much cuter in person and a very distinguished gentleman. Chris said, Why, thank you. Your name is Vanessa Summerfield. Nice to meet you, Vanessa. And then talks to Melissa. So I was thinking about going to the Halloween dance. And I want to know, are you going to the dance tonight? Melissa said. Yes, I'm going as Deep Sea Girl. Who are you going to be for Halloween, Chris? And then Chris says, well, I'm going as... And then Alicia interrupts him. Prince Eric? He's going as Prince Eric, while I am going as Princess Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Melissa says sarcastically, oh, I can't even imagine. And then she has an imagination of Alicia as Ariel, and then Melissa cringes at her imagination of Alicia as Ariel. Do you have somewhere to go, Alicia? Chris and I are trying to have a conversation. Alicia in an angry tone. Why don't you leave my Chrissy Poo alone and stick with your loser squad? And then grabs Chris. Chrissy Poo is going to be my Prince Eric since I already bought his costume and he's going to love it. And then Chris is annoyed. Alicia, you didn't have to buy me a costume. I already bought my costume 3 weeks ago. Melissa in an angry tone. Why don't you let Chris make his own decisions on who he wants to be for Halloween? I know you should be for Halloween. A wicked witch who is very ugly, and that's who you are. And then Alicia tries to grab, oh, that's it. No one calls me ugly. And then Melissa and Alicia are at each other until Nicole stops them. Girls, that's enough. Will you two ever get along? And then Melissa and Alicia said, no. They both cross their arms and turn their backs at each other and stick their tongues out. And then the bell rings. Vanessa said, I think we should get to our classes. Melissa, I'm coming. And then she runs to her class. Meanwhile, in Serena's lair, Serena in her bedroom. I am so sick. So sick that I am totally running out of patience for my lackeys of getting Bubblelina and her little friend too. And then feels her head pounding. All of this stress of failing to get Bubblelina is giving me a headache. I wish somebody could stop Bubblelina and her annoying friend for me while I recover. And then she yawns. I totally need a nap. And then she sleeps. While Serena takes a nap in her bedroom, Cuza, Chara, and Coco sneak in Serena's room of potions. Cuza excited. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? And Chara said, no. And then Coco laughs like a hyena. Cuza said, I was thinking about in order to show Serena that we are not failures, we can stop Bubblelina ourselves with the use of Serena's magic. And Chara said, that's great. That's a great idea. And our fence don't have to get so dirty from the crime. Let's wake Serena up so we can get her permission. Cuza said, we don't need to get Serena's permission. And you can tell that she's totally out of it and needed her rest. All we have is the potions we needed. And he looks through all the potions. She has very different type of potions that turn into vicious land animals like lions, tigers, and bears. And Chara said, oh my. It doesn't have to be human or animal. It can be anything like a certain plant or a food item. Looks at Serena's crystal ball and discovers a scarecrow with a really large pumpkin head standing near a pumpkin patch. Hey, Cuza. And then Cuza still look at the different potions. What? Chara said, I found a scary looking scarecrow. And Cuza said, a scarecrow? Chara said, since there's a holiday that humans celebrate called Halloween is near, and instead of using Serena's potions, why not use Serena's magic wand to make a scarecrow come to life so it can scare the citizens in order for Bubblelina to come? Once the scarecrow grabs her, she is ours for the taking and Serena will be proud of us. And Cuza says, the question is, how do we get a scarecrow? Chara's still looking at the crystal ball. Looks like the scarecrow is located in a pumpkin patch. And Cuza said, let's use Serena's wand to transport to the lair. Cuza uses Serena's wand to transport the scarecrow into the lair. Cuza and Chara both are looking at the scarecrow. This scarecrow doesn't look so bad. All we need is some dark magic and we're good to go. And Cuza said, instead of using Serena's potions, we could use Serena's wand instead. Chara said, that sounds like a great idea, and our fins will be clean from using her potions. And waves the wand at the scarecrow. Wicked wand, please make this scarecrow come to life. Bops the scarecrow on the head, and the scarecrow comes to life with glowing red eyes. And the scarecrow roars, roar! I am alive. Chara said, it worked. I finally did it. Coco's still laughing. The scarecrow looks confused. What am I doing here? I'm supposed to be scaring the crows away from the pumpkins. Cuza said, well, we'll want you to scare a certain and capture a little brat. And that little brat is Bubblelina, and she also has an annoying sidekick with her. Once you capture her, we will all be in Serena's good graces, the scarecrow said. It will be my absolute pleasure. Roars and getting transported to Pasadena by Chara with Serena's wand. Cuza said, I hope that our plan works. Meanwhile, at Melissa's house. Melissa comes in the house and says good afternoon to her parents. Good afternoon, Mom and Dad. Sorry I'm late coming home. Jonathan said, good afternoon, Princess. We tried to call you and you didn't answer. Why are you so late coming home? Melissa said, I went to the costume shop after school to see if they have any deep sea girl costumes so that I can wear it for the Halloween dance. And they were all out, and they were all sold out. So all they have left are clowns, witches, fairies, and various animal costumes. So I bought me a cat costume with my allowance. Carolyn said, this is the second time you missed our call. This could have been avoided if you have answered your phone or you call us to let us know where are you going after school so we don't wonder or worry. Communication is very important. Where was your phone this time when we tried to call you? Melissa said, it must have been in the bottom of my backpack mixed in with my textbooks and school supplies. I also realized I put my phone on vibrate during my classes, and I'm really sorry for not letting you know. Jonathan said, it is really important, Melissa, that you have your phone at all times, as letting us know where you're heading off after school. Staying after school and going somewhere outside of school and home. It's all about responsibility and communication. Just to be on the safe side, keep your phone in your pocket or purse and always have it completely on. If you don't have any pockets or in a purse on you, invest in a fanny pack. We are letting you off with a warning this time. But if this happens again, you will be on punishment. As the old saying goes, 3 strikes and you're out. Metaphorically. Melissa whines, I said I was sorry. I keep my phone in my pocket. Mom, Dad, the Halloween dance is tomorrow night and it starts at 6 p.m. and ends at 9. Can I go to the dance, please? Carolyn says, you can go to the dance, but under one condition. We are going to drop you off and pick you up, and we want you to call us once 9 o'clock comes. So we would head down to the school and head back home safely before 10 o'clock. Melissa, excited, okay, hugs her mom and dad. Thank you, Mom and Dad, you are the best. Runs upstairs in excitement. The scarecrow heads downtown, looks around and sees a group of little kids in costumes with trick-or-treat bags with 2 of their parents coming out of a shopping center. The random boys say, "Oh, look, Mommy, there's a scarecrow with a scary-looking pumpkin head. Can we see if he has candy to give us?" The random mother says, "It's Halloween. I don't see why not." All the little kids run up to the scarecrow. The kids say, hold up their bags up in the air, "Trick or treat." The scarecrow glows his red eyes and raises his hands, gives them a really scary look, roars at them and takes off his head. And the kids and the parents screams and run out of his sight. They were all in a panic and ran. The scarecrow puts his head back on. Now that's what I call scaring people. Now to find Bubblelina. Runs all over downtown scaring people, and all the people were screaming in a panic. Meanwhile, at Carver Middle School, Melissa's parents dropped her off at the Carver Middle School gym for the Halloween dance. Jonathan said, "Well, there you go, Melissa." Melissa in her black cat costume exits the car. Carolyn said, "Melissa, remember what we talked about earlier?" Melissa said, "Once the dance is over at 9 o'clock, I'll call you so you can pick me up. I put my phone in my purse." Jonathan said, "That's right. Stay safe, Melissa, and I don't want any boys to get really close to you. If any boy is near you, they have to deal with me." Melissa embarrassed, "Daddy!" Carolyn said, "Just be careful, sweetie, and have fun." Melissa said, "I will, Mom and Dad," waves them goodbye as they leave the premises. Melissa enters the dance and sees all the students dancing and having a great time. Nicole and William comes up to Melissa. Nicole, dressing up as Cinderella. Melissa looked at her confused. "I thought you were dressing up as Deep Sea Girl." Melissa said, "All the Deep Sea Girl costumes were sold out, but luckily I was able to find a really cute cat costume." William, dressing up as Sherlock Holmes and playing the part while holding a magnifying glass. "Oh, where's the candy? I was looking forward to getting a lot of candy since I brought my bag with me." Nicole said, "There's a really long refreshment table over there. You might find some candy there." William says, see the refreshment tables and runs towards it. "Oh boy, I feel like I'm in candy heaven right now." Grabs the candy really hard and puts it in his bag. The random male students say, "Hey, save some treats for the rest of us." Melissa says, "Where's Chris? I don't see him anywhere." Nicole said, "Maybe Alicia is holding him up since they are going to the dance together." Melissa sees a boy wearing a Batman costume standing near a wall. "Looks like that boy has no one he came with. I might ask him if he wants some company." Nicole, "Can you watch my purse for me while I talk to him?" Nicole says, "Sure." Melissa approaches the boy. "Hey, are you waiting for somebody?" Chris says, "No, Melissa." Melissa said, "Chris, is that you?" And then Chris takes off his mask. "Of course, this is me. That is a pretty nice cat costume you're wearing. It really matches your personality." Melissa says, "I thought you were going as Prince Eric, and where's Alicia?" Chris says, "I personally chose this costume since Batman is my favorite superhero, as well as Superman, Captain America, and Black Panther. As for Alicia, let's just say her family invited me for dinner at a fancy restaurant before the dance, and Alicia ordered the chicken salad, but it turns out the waiter accidentally gave her a tuna salad and ended up sick with a stomach bug. She was really mad and disappointed that she can't go to the dance since she was looking forward to come to the dance as Ariel." Melissa thinks to herself in her mind, "Yes, Chris is all mine tonight." Then talks to Chris. "So, since we're together, do you want to dance with me?" "Sure." And Chris takes Melissa's hand and starts a slow dance. Melissa and Chris slow dance to each other. and look at each other's eyes and embracing each other until Nicole interrupts. Melissa, Melissa, your purse is glowing. Melissa thinks to herself in her mind, must be my transformation shell. I was hoping I would have a free night without fighting bad guys. Gives away with Chris. I'll be right back. Takes her purse out of Nicole's hand and heads outside in a secluded area. Melissa opens her shell. Vanessa is the one who called her. Vanessa? Melissa, I need you right now. I tried calling you on your cell phone, but you didn't answer. Anywho, there is a scarecrow with a pumpkin head terrifying citizens all over downtown Pasadena. Melissa said, Where's Narissa? She usually contacts us when there is trouble. Narissa's on a mission in the Atlantic Ocean. I'll explain the rest once you get here. There's no rest for the wicked. Well, I have to do what I have to do. Waves her shell up in the air. Magical bubble power! Transforms into Bubblelina and teleports herself to downtown Pasadena. Just as he teleports, Melissa accidentally left her purse behind near a tree. Meanwhile, at Melissa's house, Jonathan looking concerned. It's 9:30 and Melissa's supposed to call us by now, and I'm starting to get worried. Carolyn also concerned. I'll call her to see if she's still at school. Calls Melissa on the phone. Melissa's phone rings from the inside of her purse, and no answer. Carolyn said, I don't get an answer from her voicemail greeting. Johnson said, Melissa said that she will be more responsible. She needs a serious talk when we get home. We need to get down to the school before it's really too late. Jonathan and Carolyn go to the car and head over to Carver Middle School. Meanwhile, in downtown Pasadena, the pumpkin-headed scarecrow throws pumpkin bombs to the people, and the people are running and screaming for their dear life. The scarecrow says, You all have your tricks. Now here are your treats. Throws another pumpkin bomb at another kid until Bubblelina and Odetta said together, Not so fast. Bubblelina says, Do you have something better to do besides scaring innocent people? Halloween is supposed to be fun and exciting for the people who celebrate it, but you have to ruin it with your scary shenanigans. I am gentle but strong, Bubblelina. And Odetta said, I am smart but powerful, Odetta. And Bubblelina and Odetta said together, And we are both protectors of the sea and land, and you must be stopped. And the scarecrow says, So you are Bubblelina, and you got your little sidekick too. I don't care for all of that, but I have a surprise for both of you. Acidic pumpkin slime. Tries to throw the slime at both of them. Bubblelina and Odetta jumps higher for safety, and the slime hits the ground, causing a small hole. Bubblelina up on the tree with Odetta. I don't know what we should do. Do you have any bright ideas, Odetta? I could use my ice powers to freeze his hands, and you could use your bubble powers to blind his vision. That sounds like a great idea. Ice freeze. Shoots ice at his hands. Scarecrow notices that his hands are stuck in ice. What the? And then he looks up. Bubble suds. Shoots at the scarecrow's eyes. Scarecrow has the bubble suds blinded him in the eyes. I can't see. I can't see. And then starts to melt with the ice, with fire on his hands, and the suds fade away from his eyes. Bubblelina in shock. Oh no, our individual powers doesn't faze him. And the scarecrow says, Now you are making me mad, you little brats. Here's an evening that you will never forget once I'm done with you. How about some fire to ignite your spirits? Shoots a large fireball with his hands and transitions to the next scene. Melissa's parents arrive at the school and notices that everyone is leaving for the night. Then they see Nicole and William leaving the gym and heads towards them. William eats a handful of candy from his bag while walking with Nicole. Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, embarrassed with chocolate all over his mouth. Carolyn says, "Have you two seen Melissa? I tried calling her on her cell phone, but I didn't get an answer. Do you know where she's at now?" Nicole says, "I don't know where she is, Mrs. Robinson. The last time I saw her, she was with Chris and then she ran outside. When I was looking for her, she left her purse behind." Hands Jonathan Melissa's purse. Jonathan said, "It's a good thing that you found her purse, or else it would have been stolen by a stranger." Chris says ran to Melissa's parents. "I just received a news alert on my phone that there is a scarecrow terrifying citizens in downtown Pasadena, and Bubblelina and her sidekick fighting the scarecrow. It's a possibility that Melissa might be there just to see Bubblelina in person." Jonathan says, "Well, Melissa is a fan of Deep Sea Girl, and Bubblelina and I think you're onto something. Carolyn, let's head downtown and find Melissa." Carolyn says, "I don't know why she would wander off like that just to see her favorite superhero, even though we told her not to." Both head back to their car. The scarecrow shoots fireballs and pumpkin bombs at the same time while Bubblelina and Odetta and finds an abandoned store to hide. Bubblelina whines, "Oh, this powerful scarecrow is unbeatable. I really wish Nerissa was here right now to help us when we're in danger." Odetta says, "Bubblelina, we are on our own. We are on our own, and there are times that Nerissa can't be with us all the time, and we have to fight without her help and advice. We have to put our heads together and think of a better idea to stop the scarecrow without destroying it." Bubblelina notices a red aura around the scarecrow. "I noticed that the scarecrow has an aura around him. Could Serena be behind this?" "I don't know, but we need to combine our powers to stop him. If we combine our powers together, he'll be completely frozen like a popsicle, and then I use my healing ability to destroy the aura around him. It doesn't hurt to try. Bubble spears! Freezing ice blizzard!" Both of Bubblelina and Odetta's powers combine, hit the scarecrow, and he formed into an ice statue. "Now it's my turn," puts her hands on the scarecrow's forehead. "Magical bubble recuperation." The scary living scarecrow turns back into a normal, lifeless scarecrow. Odetta says, "It was a normal scarecrow with a pumpkin head this whole time?" Bubblelina says, "A pumpkin-headed scarecrow under Serena's spell." Looks at the clock near City Hall. "Oh no, it's 10 o'clock, and I know my parents are worried sick about me and I need to head home." And she transforms back into Melissa. Odetta transforms back into Vanessa. "I need to get going since my parents are coming home from work in the morning after long shifts from the hospital. I'll see you on Monday. Good night, Melissa." And she teleports herself home. Melissa says, "Good night, Vanessa. Now to teleport myself home." Just as she tried to open her transformation shell to teleport herself home, her parents arrive. Jonathan yells, "Melissa Doris Robinson!" Carolyn yells, "You are in some serious trouble, young lady. Get in the car. Now!" Melissa walking in the car with her head down in sadness. Back in Melissa's house, Carolyn in anger, "I've never been upset with you all of my entire life. I tried calling you and you didn't answer. This is the third time you have done that to us, and worse, you left your purse behind and somebody would have stolen it. Luckily, your friend Nicole found it. If it wasn't for Nicole, your purse would have been long gone, and you don't know if you're going to get it back or not." Melissa sounded upset. Mom, Dad, I'm really sorry for being irresponsible by not answering my phone and leaving my purse behind. I can explain. Jonathan in anger. Melissa, how could you? Why on earth would you leave the school dance just to see Bubblelina find some stupid scarecrow downtown? Even though it's too dangerous for a young lady to go out all alone. Not just young ladies, but for anyone at any age. We almost lost you tonight if we didn't find you. Carolyn's still upset. Melissa, we want you to tell us why you were in downtown Pasadena, and we want the truth. Melissa takes a deep breath. The real reason I was in the downtown area because I just received a call from Vanessa that she needed me to come downtown to stop the scarecrow. So I transformed myself as Bubblelina to help Vanessa, who is also Odetta, and we stopped the scarecrow together. Jonathan says, I don't believe any of this nonsense. What are you trying to say? Melissa takes a deep breath. Mom, Dad, I am Bubblelina. Carolyn angry. This is a very serious matter. It is not the time and place for jokes. Melissa grabs Carolyn. Mom, this is the truth. I am Bubblelina. Please, you got to believe me. Carolyn pushes Melissa and yells, Melissa, enough. We are sick and tired of your irresponsible behavior. Since you can't give us a truthful explanation, and until you learn to be more responsible, as well as communicating more with us, you are grounded until further notice. But Mom! That means no TV, no internet, no phone. Without my phone, how will I call both of you? Carolyn grabs Melissa's phone by using this, hands her a flip phone. This is our basic emergency phone. This phone is used to call us only, not your friends or anyone outside the family. You cannot use it to send text messages either. Maybe you should handle more responsibility with this phone than your own phone. We definitely don't want you to lose this phone. This since it's our only emergency phone. Jonathan disappointed. As I was saying, all of your privileges will be taken away, and you cannot leave this house except for school. Carolyn calms down firmly. We will take you and pick you up from school from now on, and you will call us to let you know when school is over. No hanging out after school or anywhere with your friends. It's getting late and we'll still have more to talk about in the morning. And Jonathan said firmly, don't you ever wander off at night alone ever again. Don't you understand, Melissa? Melissa said with her head down in sadness. Yes, sir. Jonathan points. Go to your room. I am very disappointed in you. Melissa still sad. I'm still sorry, Mom and Dad, Carolyn and Jonathan said together. Good night, Melissa, Melissa said softly. Good night. Carolyn and Jonathan stopped talking to Melissa. Melissa heads upstairs to her room, lays on her bed, covers her head, and cries on her pillow. Melissa in her mind. I thought this Halloween's the best night of my life since I haven't had my moment with Chris until it was interrupted by a scarecrow. Now it ends the worst with me being grounded. I really don't know if I would leave the house as Bubblelina when trouble strikes, since I can't leave the house except school. Thinks out loud. This is the worst night of my life! Meanwhile, in Serena's lair, Chara, disappointed. I can't believe Bubblelina and her annoying psychic destroyed our monster. He was so close to destroying both of them. Cuza said, it was fun while it lasted, when we used Serena's wand to make our monster come to life. Coco still laughs. Cuza said, at least Serena doesn't know. Serena fully recovered. Know about what? Chara in shock. My lady. Serena angry. Did you go into my potion room and use my wand behind my back? Chara said, well, you see, we used your wand for a good cause, which is to make a monster out of a scarecrow with a pumpkin head. Serena said, enough. Nobody doesn't go in my potion room but me, says I'm more powerful than you, and I'm also your superior. Now, I'm going to teach you a lesson of not doing magic behind my back. Tries to sap Cuza, Chara, and Coco with her powerful wand. Oh no! Swim! That's what Cuza said. Cuza, Chara, and Coco swims away from Serena while Serena saps them with her wand all over the sea. And that's the end of my published Bubblelina Issue 6 titled A Bubbly Halloween. Well, we see that Bubblelina Odetta starts fighting together as heroes by saving some sea turtles, and then Melissa started to be a little bit irresponsible by keep losing her phone and not communicating to her parents on where she's at and stuff. And then we see Melissa and her friends being excited about the Halloween dance, and then we also see that Serena is under the weather, that Chara and Cuza taking over by putting a spell on a random scarecrow by using Serena's magic wand, and then the scarecrow causes chaos, and Melissa thought that this would be the best night of her life since she got an opportunity with Chris, and her night was interrupted with the scarecrow. So Bubblelina Odetta fought the scarecrow, and Melissa thought she had an exciting night until she got busted by her parents. Melissa did tell the truth that she was Bubblelina to her parents, but her parents didn't buy her. But her parents did not buy it, and they're still mad at Melissa for not being responsible, as well as not communicating with her parents. So they just decided to ground her since they had enough. And Melissa just in tears that she thought she had the best night of her life. And it was the worst Halloween with her life when she got grounded by her parents. And then Serena found out that Chara and Cuza and Coco were tampering with her magic wand to make a scarecrow come to life. And we have a funny ending when Serena chased Chara, Cuza, and Coco to the sea with her magic wand. And it would have been nice if it's better published, but at least we got you issue 6. But here's a good bonus. This is a rough draft I did titled Bubblelina's Beginning before I started the comic book series. An origin of Bubblelina that I came up with, but except in this draft, she is a teenager instead of a middle schooler, and her name is different. So, and the setting of the story is different too. So here it goes. In an underwater kingdom called Atlantis was a sea king and queen who gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. They have a happy life in Atlantis until the sea witch showed up and destroyed parts of Atlantis. The Sea King tried to have a battle with the Sea Witch, but the Sea Witch is more powerful than the Sea King, that he had a hard time destroying her. The Sea Witch put a very powerful spell on the Sea King that he lost his battle and died. The Sea Queen grieved the loss of her husband, that she was thinking about giving her daughter a better life to a loving, deserving family on land. The Sea Queen left her baby daughter on the beach and kissed her goodbye. The Sea Queen hides behind a rock to watch her until somebody finds her. The Sea Queen's daughter was found by a loving couple named Jonathan and Carolyn Smith. The couple adopted and named her Marina Aquafina Smith. And that's before I changed the name to Melissa Doris Robinson. 16 years later, Marina still lives a normal life on land. She attends to Seaview High School, has friends, becomes an honor student, and joined the swim team. She had a life of any normal teenager until her 16th birthday. On the night of her 16th birthday, she started to have strange dreams of swimming underwater alone and discovers a strange encounter that was very unknown to her. The next morning, she started to feel strange, like every time she holds an item, it sticks onto her hand, has an intense thirst for salt water, eating in a strange way, and swimming in a fast pace. Marina started to have strange power when she made a large bubble out of water, and her voice gets very loud when she sings. When she got in the bathtub, her legs had turned into a fishtail. Marina was in a total panic that she dried her entire bite off as quickly as possible to get rid of the problem, puts her clothes back on, and ran out of her house. Marina spends time alone with her thoughts on the beach. Marina thought that she was alone until a strange woman with a fishtail came out of the ocean. That strange woman was the sea goddess. The sea goddess told Marina about why she's a mermaid, her real parents from the sea, Atlantis, and the sea witch. The sea goddess told Marina that she needs someone powerful to destroy the sea witch and save Atlantis. So, the sea goddess gave Marina a magic pink pearl that can transform her into an aquatic superhero. Marina held the pearl up in the air and transformed into an aquatic superhero in a blue, green, pink, and gold-colored costume. She still has legs when she's on dry land, but when she's in the water, her legs turn into a fishtail. Marina still couldn't believe that she's a mermaid and a superhero all at once. The sea goddess warns Marina to keep her mermaid heritage and superhero identity a secret from human beings. Marina went underwater as a mermaid to see what Atlantis is like. Marina can't believe that half of Atlantis was destroyed by the sea witch, and broke down in tears from looking at the city. Marina decided to have a battle with the sea witch, that she swims to the sea witch's hideout and find the sea witch putting on some mer people in captivity. The sea witch went out from her hideout and Marina was trying to get the mer people out of the sea witch's cave. Marina let the mer people out of the sea witch and Marina let the mer people out and the sea witch came back. The sea witch is trying to have a battle with Marina by using her dark magic. Marina tried to make water form bubbles and throw them at the sea witch, and the sea witch threw the bubbles back at Marina and hit her very hard. Marina also used her powerful singing voice to defeat the sea witch, and the sea witch's magic is still powerful. Marina is out of strength until the sea goddess gave Marina a magic tiara that turns into a trident. So, Marina gave that powerful trident a shot, and the sea witch is finally defeated. The mer people thanked Marina for defeating the sea witch. The sea goddess and Marina used both their powers to rebuild Atlantis, and the mer people were happy again. The sea goddess wants to call Marina Bubble Girl, but Marina wants to call herself Bubblelina as her superhero name. Marina is now Bubblelina, and she has everything ahead of her. A triple life as a teenager, a mermaid, and a superhero. Marina may have a busy life from high school, saving the world, but Marina must keep her mermaid tail, powers, and superhero identity a secret from humans. That includes her adopted parents. It's a possibility that Bubblelina might bump into people who have superpowers, just like her, with different personalities, that they might form into a powerful team of superheroes, fighting crime and saving the world. Who knows? I think Bubblelina is here to stay. As for the Sea Witch, she's still alive and she wants to destroy Bubblelina. Don't worry, Bubblelina will fight another battle with the Sea Witch someday. And that's all I have with my first draft of Bubblelina's beginning before I turn it into a comic book series. This is like a shortened version of my comic book series, except in this draft she's 16 instead of a middle schooler, and the sea goddess doesn't have a name, and I gave her a name in the comic series, which is Narissa, and she is officially Bubblelina's birth mom. But in this draft, she just had parents in the sea, both mom and a dad, and the sea goddess wasn't her mom. And her last name is different. Instead of Robinson, is Smith in the draft. And with the comic draft, you get more detailing. And when I wrote Bubblelina's beginning, I started this when Gabe started his Heroes of Dream series. Since I mentioned in the draft since I mentioned the end of the draft that one day in the future, Bubblelina might encounter some more people who has superpowers just like her. And back then, I might be referring to as the Dream League. So this was a draft I came up back then. Since she has her own series, I come up with more adventures about her. So this is all I have, and if you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Miracle Productions, as well as buying our available books. And please support us on Patreon. And don't forget, I am still on Facebook and Instagram under Christina Lee Johnson. And I really hope you have an exciting day. And bye, everyone.